Recently, I got a message from one of my students asking me an interesting question, which gave me the idea to create this video. This student, after checking my match history, noticed that in my Grandmaster Elo games, the winning team was generally gaining a very substantial lead at around 10 minutes or earlier, while in his lower ranked games, this generally wasn't really happening until after laning phase ended, where one team would gain that substantial lead after winning a team fight. So why is this the case? Well, the answer to that is what I like to call multi-part plays. These are prolonged plays that are happening in a winning lane, that the highest ranked players are using in order to snowball their lead incredibly fast and to make their kills mean more. And that's exactly what we'll be breaking down in this video, as well as some other things that high elo players are doing in order to make sure that their kills are meaning more than yours, so that they can snowball their lead and carry more games.
My name's Rogue and I played League of Legends professionally for 7 years. Now I'm a full-time content creator and coach for all ranks Iron through to Challenger. So if you want more information of what a coaching session with me will look like, you can find more information by following the link in the video description below.
While you're in the description, you'll also find the link to my Patreon, where I post all the recordings of my best coaching sessions in full, with an expansive library of videos covering all roles and ranks, including sessions with players all the way up until Challenger, and even some pro team scrims. I've also moved my How Pros Think series that started over YouTube over to my Patreon as well, so that's where you'll find it from now on. Now finally, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supports me. It's because of you guys that I can keep making videos like this for everyone to enjoy, so thank you. A really common mistake that comes up time and time again when I'm in a coaching session with new students is people trying to help their losing lanes too much. It is losing you a ton of games. By around 8 minutes, the timer in which everyone in the game will have hit level 6 and get their ultimates, most lanes have already been decided. We have one side that is clearly winning and one side clearly losing. This marks a new stage in the game, where we need to start playing faster through our winning lanes. Not only are we far more likely to win a fight when we play with our stronger members, but our plays are going to be easier to execute and have a much larger reward. You're seeing that demonstrated on the screen now. Because Nidalee is playing through her strongest lane, there is no risk that this play can go wrong. This gold lead also makes this extremely easy to execute on, and the reward she gets for it is massive compared to if she tried to fight in a losing lane. Mid tower fell at 12 minutes in this game. With all the extra gold they got from it, Nidalee was finally able to help out her bot lane then and put them super ahead. And Qiyana was even able to roam top lane and fix the problem that was that super fed Renekton now that she had the gold to do it with. Now just by looking at this, you can already tell that playing fast through winning lanes is a good idea if you want to achieve a higher reward. But that's without even factoring in those multi-part plays I hinted at earlier. Often if you're in a place where you're substantially ahead, you don't need to base and end your play after just one kill. You can keep going, and you can start chaining your kills together for a potentially massive reward. Now if you were paying attention to the clips during the intro, you might have noticed we've already seen another multi-part play in this video, and that's this one on Jhin. I already have 3 kills in this game, so I'm super accelerated, and my team does a great job playing through me. So when we come bot lane and get this first kill on Xayah, that's part 1. We don't have to stop there because who is stronger right now? Me or Xayah? Well, even without basing, I have more items than him. I don't need to recall because it doesn't change who is stronger in this lane, so I can keep going. Now that we know Xayah is dead, Soraka is left under tower completely alone with a good hook from Nautilus. Now she's dead, and this opens up the door again. Do I need to recall? Well, not yet. I'm still stronger than the enemy bot lane. So I ping for my jungler to come. We know that the Soraka's dead, and so we catch Xayah walking back to lane yet again. Now, at this moment, is it finally getting to that point where I have to go back? Who is stronger before I base, me or Xayah? Well, now we're getting to that crossroads. Probably is about time to base, and so we opt for it. But in hindsight, watching this back, we definitely could have gone for the play again. The enemy simply isn't responding to our play, and we know that Xayah is dead, and if Amu had waited and my team was on board, we probably could have chained this into a 4th kill. But alas, we took the safer option, and we decided it was time to call it quits, so we called it quits. Now in this example, I'm going for a play on bot lane. My bot lane isn't necessarily ahead in terms of gold, but what they do have is a recall advantage. The enemy bot lane has stuck around for a little bit too long on the map, and they kind of interweigh their life, giving us a free double kill. Great job, bot lane. But this leaves us in a pretty interesting position. Because my bot lane is fresh off base, they have almost 0 gold and don't need to recall. And I'm kind of the same. I have 1,000. 1,000 is enough that I can probably stick around because I'm kind of ahead. That combined with the regen from red buff and from my river fruit means that I'm kind of okay to stay on the map here, which lets me do a multi-part play. It doesn't have to end at the first kill. Now that I know that the enemy death timer is staggered because I didn't kill them at the same time, I can start chaining one kill into another. Vayne walks back into lane, and I'm already waiting to kill her in between her two towers. Then the Lux gets caught half asleep, snoozing, walking into lane, checking Twitter, and we do the exact same thing yet again. Chain that first 2 kills into another double kill. And all the while this is happening, my Kai'Sa is getting solo plates on bot, and the enemy bot lane is losing an absolute ton of XP. And this is a multi-part play. Notably, a multi-part play doesn't always have to result from a kill. Sometimes just burning an enemy summoner's abilities or taking away some health can lead into one of these plays. Like in this replay on Jungle Zara. This chunk I get onto Yone is just part 1. Now that he's chunked out, it leads into a really easy tower dive with my Fiddlesticks because he's chunked out and my Fiddlesticks is so far ahead. But what might be even more fun is the realization that part 1 doesn't even have to always include you. We've seen this done before in one of my older videos in my How Pros Think series, where my Yasuo top lane gets a solo kill on his lane opponent, which I take as part 1. Then when the Rumble is walking back to lane, he finds me waiting in the lane bush between his 2 towers. In this way I chain my teammate's solo kill into a double kill, making it a multi-part play, which leads to a full tower and ends up breaking the game wide open for us. Now these multi-part plays are yet another reason why it's so important to base frequently and spend your gold in this end of early game phase of the game. These multi-part plays simply aren't possible if you're overstaying and hoarding a ton of money. If you're running around with more than 1,000 gold, you're not only carrying a higher risk that you will lose a fight, but any fights you do win, you've most likely killed that opportunity to snowball that kill into more. After winning that fight, you're most likely low on health, and by that point have an insane amount of gold. If you try to stick around for a multi-part play, the enemy returning from base after buying and healing to full will probably be stronger than you. But if you're sure to recall often, there's a good chance that after that first kill, you might be able to chain your kills into even more. But what can't be overstated enough is the potential reward you can find when looking for these plays is incredible, like in this final replay we're looking at now. Kled gets a good trade on Tahm Kench, which forces Tahm to base, enabling Kled to take a plate and deny some minions, which is already a great result. But if Kled had understood the potential for a multi-part play here, he would have instantly won the game. Kled has incredibly good topside vision. The enemy jungler even showed bot side. At this moment, Kled has more items, a level lead, and a better keystone for an all-in fight. So imagine if he had walked past the tower and simply prevented Tahm from coming back to lane. Tahm Kench would either die trying to walk back to his tier 1, or would be forced to stay at his tier 2 tower and just simply never get XP again. His situation becoming worse and worse over time as Kled continued to gain more of a level lead over him. But it's not just on Kled here to realize this. If Kled's jungler Kayn had noticed this, he could have easily cancelled this recall and waited for Tahm between the 2 towers as well. But not even just Kayn had this opportunity. Their mid laner Ahri by coincidence happened to crash a wave into mid tower at the exact same moment. Ahri could have easily run to top for free, waited for Tahm between his 2 towers as well. Had this been a challenger game, this is exactly what would have happened. 3 people proxy killing the enemy top laner, all because he took one bad trade. Now that's why challenger players' kills mean more than yours. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this far, you obviously liked the video, so leave a sub so you see the next one. Also, if you'd like to, leave a like and a comment. It's going to help me push this video out to more people and help me grow my channel. Thank you.